Hi, I'm Dan from Ozgel,
Hi, I'm Ricardo from Startane.
and today we're having a chat with Ricardo about gas grenades. That's it. Voila. All right, that's the end of the podcast. I'll see you later, mate. It was good to.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right. From here, mate.
I need some coffee.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that'll be me in the morning. All right. So going to start from here, mate. You're comfy. You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
fine.
All right, man. Okay, so Ricardo, firstly, mate, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time on our podcast. You've made some amazing products there with the StratAim Epsilon gas grenade there. Absolutely loving them in Australia. Now, they seem to have exploded in popularity in the airsoft world, particularly over the last sort of few years. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background and how you became involved in creating such devices?
Yeah, well, I started in 2005 with playing airsoft, just regular casual as a team sport with a group of friends. We played Counter Strike a lot, very much, and
Yep.
I played national level. And
Oh,
yeah, I wanted to do it in real life, and I didn't really like paintball at the time.
yeah.
I tried it, and yeah, well, we don't have the realistic paintball markers here, so we're only allowed to have the Tipman Custom 98, for example, was very popular back then.
Yep.
So then I found out that in other countries around us we can play airsoft. So I googled it, and I found a place where we can play in Belgium next to us.
Cool.
So that's how I started playing. And from that, yeah, I did the casual games, then the night games, and then the weekend games, and then going other countries as well, Germany, UK, France, and doing meal sims, and now even hosting meal sims with a group of friends in Germany. We do that on a training base, and I also have the Airsoft Center store for almost 6 years now. So for 4 years we're doing StratAim now. So
Yeah.
we are expanding and expanding and expanding. And yeah, you asked me why I started with StratAims.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good grenade anymore in the market, to be honest. The old Tornado was pretty nice, but after that there were no good grenades anymore in the market. So a friend of me started designing one. We did a lot of testing. More testing and more testing and more failures, and finally we came with the Nova. So it has all the holes outside, the same detonator inside, and it shoots out all the BBs. There's still one stuck here.
Yep.
For testing, and that one worked pretty good, actually, more than we thought in the beginning that it would work. And we tested it out in local fields in mostly CQB areas, and we were very happy with the result. But there was a big downside, and I still think it's maybe a downside. That is, you need to use some bag or anything that you put in all the BBs. You throw this one in, you do like this a few times, and all the BBs are filled in, and then it's ready to go. But the handling is, yeah, it's still easier than some other airsoft grenades or training grenades, but the spread is very good for this one because they're 360 around, so you always have a 360 spread. So that's the big plus for this one. And then we followed it up, of course, with the well-known Epsilon. You also have it.
Yep.
And we changed the design. We made an internal spiral where all the BBs are in, and 2 exit holes. We first had one actually with 1 exit hole, and we found out that the spinning on the ground was not that good. So we changed it to 2, and we immediately saw the improvement that the spinning was really, really nice. You can see some videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you see spinning and spinning and stay spinning and stay spinning and stay spinning and spinning and even more spinning. So we're very happy with what we did in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, you have done a great job. I mean, yeah, a lot of people I think were skeptical about the introduction of a new grenade, and now that a lot of people have had hands-on practice with these things, they seem to love them on the Australian market. So that's really cool. Now, you did mention something there about airsoft in the Netherlands. That's where you're based, yeah, in the Netherlands. But basically, you were saying before that you used to travel to another country to play airsoft over in Belgium there. Now, I do understand Netherlands is actually quite new to airsoft, to legalizing airsoft. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2013. Well, somebody you already know, Ronald from
Yes.
Titan, and I were part of that as well from the legalization. And since 2013, it's legal in the Netherlands to own and play the hobby sport as well in the Netherlands. Before that, we always had to travel outside the Netherlands. We cannot bring the airsoft replicas inside the Netherlands because they were restricted by the gun law. So yeah, the fines are not that funny.
Wow.
So you rather not get one or got caught in the Netherlands with one. So we hire storage in Belgium. So every time we travel to a field, we first have to travel to the storage very early in the morning.
Wow.
Then grab the guns or the airsoft replicas, sorry, that you want to bring with you to the field. Then drive to the field. And after it's done, you do the same thing backwards. So you go back to the storage, bring everything. Then it's pretty late most of the time.
Yeah.
And then go back to home as well. So it was a hustle.
Wow, very, very painful. That actually happens in Australia too, because we've got, obviously, Queensland is really open at the moment, but I know of people in New South Wales and traveling just across the border so they can come play gel ball, and that was happening in South Australia until the recent restrictions were put in place. But yeah, I definitely feel that. But given that the Netherlands is still reasonably new to airsoft, so 7 years in, what's the airsoft scene like over there?
Well, we have, I think from my time, just so when we are allowed to do it in the Netherlands legally, we have like maybe 1,000 or 1,500 Dutchies that goes abroad and to the other countries to play airsoft. And now it's 7 years later, we have like 25,000 registered members because you have to register for a license and everything. And I think since 1 year, maybe the sport got more grown because you have a lot of new people. The sport was very popular. Everybody has seen the YouTube videos and the famous players from other countries that they played the game already. So you saw a lot of people. I think in the first year it was more than 5,000 subscribers already. So it grows very fast, very fast. And then you have the hardcore. The early people that already played. Yep. Then you have the early adapters that were new guys, and everybody was a new guy. And new fields started. Mostly paintball fields started to do some airsoft, but they needed to go to a registration with the NABV as well, and have some safety precautions and everything for airsoft. So they needed to change the organization as well, and most of the times the field, because the fields were prepped for not prepped for 6mm BBs, but for the 12mm paintballs.
Wow!
So also there you had a lot of changes in the market that they had to do. But I think in the beginning, for me personally, I played a lot in the Netherlands because a lot of people also needed education or guidance, actually more, I think. On the fields, so we helped with some friends of me that also already played for years, local fields, and get them ready. Learn them what's the difference between paintball and between airsoft, because the airsofters back then wanted longer games, and paintball games are mostly like 45 minutes. Then you have 50 minutes break, and then 45 minutes, 50 minutes break, and that's how they earn money. I understand that. But it's not the way we played airsoft. Most of the fields started at 9 a.m. in the morning. And around 12:30, we have the break for sometimes 30, sometimes 60 minutes. And then you play until evening, like 5 or 6 o'clock. So not a lot of breaks, longer games, because we also had the fields for that, I have to say, because in the Netherlands we don't have a lot of big fields, so like maybe 2 or 3 that are really big. The rest are 6 hectares. I don't know if you use measuring in hectares there. Okay. So that's the average size, but we also have fields like 2, but we also have them like 15. But the bigger ones are just a few.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because we don't have a lot of old real estate here, because they tend to throw it down very fast and rebuild something new on it, because, well, we're not a big country.
Yeah.
So the space that they have, they really want to exploit very fast again. And outside you have a lot of bigger fields outside the Netherlands that we can play.
Well, nonetheless, I mean, it sounds
we like to go international.
It sounds like a pretty good scene. Like, it sounds like a pretty good scene over there, which is good. You know, so
it changed. It changed the last year. So when we started, the first few years, I think 1 or 2 years, we had a lot of educational purposes with the new guys.
Yeah.
After that, they started to play themselves with their feel how they have to play, and then we had a few years that really the headshot thing was a thing. Everybody wanted to do headshots.
Yeah.
It's a smaller size from your target body, but it's very small. You should aim for the stomach. That's really the chest is the best place, and you have the most success to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then, well, you talked with Northridge, then he got very popular at roughly at the same time. Everybody wanted to make the VSR sniper he has, so we did a lot of builds in the store for roughly the same build.
Yeah.
So everybody started to snipe on the head, and we have a 50-meter minimum engagement distance, I think, for a sniper, out of my head.
Yeah. But
in 50 meters, it still hurts pretty good if you have 2.7, 2.8 joule.
Ooh.
And 45 gram BBs.
Yeah. Oh, geez, that's a heavy BB. Wow.
They stick.
Yeah, I would imagine, mate. I would imagine.
So. Yeah, a lot changed. I think it's not that worse anymore. It's better. There are more BB restrictions with weight and everything. We don't use the 0.2s very much anymore. The standard is 0.3 grams now here.
Yep.
And I see in the other countries as well, they are adapting to the same thing, because nobody shoots with 0.2 BBs in the Netherlands. Well, I tested some the gel balls from you.
Yeah.
They shoot different.
Yeah, definitely. They still float around that 0.2.
That's different there.
But yeah. But hey, speaking of going out to the fields and the like, how has COVID-19 changed the way that you operate as a business in the Netherlands, and how players go to fields?
It's actually very, very hard, I think, for most businesses right now. I see stores closing, not only in the Netherlands, also in France, UK, Germany. There are stores really closing up because, I think Germany is in the same kind of lockdown as we are. France is also. In the UK, they played some, but I think it's not anymore. During the summer, we had the ability to play in the Netherlands as well, but now everything is for 6-7 weeks already on lockdown. Some fields got approval for 2 players or 4-player games, but just a few fields have the approval from the government. But most are closed. The bigger fields closed. It's for them the field owners. They have a really tough time. I talked with a few of them because I know them also from years playing already.
Yeah,
they have a really tough time. And for us in the shop, well, the government don't want you to go shopping. Well, Black Friday, the normal malls were full. Yeah. Everybody have a mouth mask and thinks that they're safe then, and then it doesn't matter anymore. But we're still not allowed to play the game, the sport, in the Netherlands. And for the stores, it's roughly the same, because you're not encouraged to go to stores. So most of the people don't go. Plus, their financial state right now is maybe not the best as well, and it's a hobby, so it's not the cheapest hobby. It's an expensive hobby for most people. So you see the traffic to the stores a lot lower, but you also see the expense lower than before.
Definitely sounds quite challenging.
But they affect things, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, coming back to Gel Ball then, do you have anything in store for Gel Ballers in the future? Have you got any secret projects you want to share with us or anything you can tell us?
That's the secret. Secret project.
It's a secret? Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll keep it at that then.
Well, we are really actually in the final stage of the Echo.
Yep.
I sent you one, but I think it's still on the way. It's also that you see that all forwarders had quite a big problem shipping out worldwide.
Yep.
So it takes a bit longer than we used to. What's the difference? It's not loaded. I didn't put anything in it.
Yep.
So I pulled out the pin. Yep. This is more a hybrid grenade with our focus on the sound. So this actually totally empty.
Yep.
And the detonator itself is the same as the current grenade we run, and we changed a few things. So you could grab the top off, pretty easy. And same for this, it's the 7075 aluminum, but we use for almost all our standard products.
Yep.
And we only need some, grab the back here, it's very thin carton.
Yep.
We did a lot of testing with, because you have a lot of weight difference and thickness difference and finish layers for papers.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to have a 100% biodegradable, usable sound grenade. So we did a lot of testing, and we found this one. In the end, I don't even know the how much gram it was from my head, but we did, I think, like 100 different papers. We cut them down with a scissor in the exact, almost the exact shape, because they were not that round as we make them now. And
cool.
So it's paper with a finish that's biodegradable. So just add one in it. It's very clear to see. Yep. I think it was shiny.
And see that in the cap there. Yep.
And we grab the grenade. Yeah, you put a cap on it.
Yep.
And actually, what is interesting right now is you can also add some gel balls in this case, or BBs, and you can put them in there. You have to know that the more balls you put in there, the sound will be lower, because the gas needs to expand, and in this case it also needs to push out the balls that are in the way.
Yeah.
But it works, and it works pretty good actually. So it's a hybrid grenade, and this is it. You fill it up with the gas in top, like the other ones. Use the pin in it and just throw it, and it bangs about 80 decibel.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So it's under 100. That's actually quite usable. I think a lot of fields would approve that over here too. So that's really good to know. I'm excited to receive this one. So
yeah, I understand. Yeah, well, we make like 50 pre-production samples. So these are the pre-production samples. Yep. We didn't finish these two parts, so they don't have a color or anything. That will be probably black in the final product, and we have the limited edition in gold.
Yeah.
The regular colors will be blue and red, I think.
Excellent. Well, looking forward to that. We decided
for now.
That's great.
We will add some rubber bands. Actually, I have one of the early testing samples of this one.
Yeah.
It's heavily used, really heavily used. I don't know if you can see.
We can see a little bit of chipping. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here. That's maybe. You see all the denting. I think this one is like 400, 500, 600 times thrown. We have the rubber band we use. This one will also have it in the final product. So the durability is still the same. The quality is also the 7075 aluminum, and we tried it very, very much for testing, and it still works fine. It doesn't look that nice anymore, but it looks weird, and I like that as well.
Yeah.
That you used it instead of it always be shiny.
Yeah. Shiny's good. Really like the color scheme that you've had in the
shiny.
Great. Yeah, everyone likes shiny things. Well, look, Ricardo, we're going to wrap it up there. Once again, I just want to thank you so much for your time and for sharing a little bit about the product there. That's fantastic. Once again, people love this in Australia so far, and looking forward to getting some more stuff in. Now, Ricardo, how can people find StratAim on social media?
It's actually pretty simple. We're on Instagram, StratAim Corp. On Facebook, it's just the StratAim. You can find it. It's really easy. And of course, StratAim.com is the website we use. There you can find all the products and information and dealers.
Yeah.
But you also have the dealers or sell points with you, right?
Fantastic. Love it. Thanks very much, mate. And guys, once again, I'm Dan from Ozgel. You can find us at www.ozgel.com.au, and we're on all the social media platforms as Ozgel or Ozgel Ammo. All right. Thanks very much for your time, guys. See you later.